Okay, here's another little testimonial for our carnivore retreat coming up in May. This is Lucia Norbury, and she is the daughter of Graeme Norbury, who I interviewed just a moment ago, that you've probably seen maybe a day or so ago, how depending on when I've released these. And Lucia came along with her dad, and she'd been carnivore for a while. And how old were you when you went last retreat, Lucia?
I just turned 15.
Okay, cool. So Lúthien came along and was just marvellous, not only helping me massively with looking after my kids, but mixed beautifully with all the boring old fart adults. And I just thought I'd get her on for a young person's perspective of what the carnivore retreat was like last year. So Lúthien, what did you think about it? How did you feel there? What was the resort like? What was the food like? What were the people like? Did you have fun?
Yeah, it was really good. Initially, I just went to just sort of like be in the sun for a few days and just to go to Spain. But I actually really enjoyed it. Like, I spoke to pretty much everyone. I don't think there was a person I didn't speak to. And they all told me like how they came to be carnivore finally, like what they'd been through and like why they did it. But I felt like we all had something in common. It wasn't just like that we met up and there was like some random people. Like, we all had something in common, and the food was really good. Like, and the staff at the place were really friendly, and the place itself was just really nice, and like it was just really nice.
Cool. Yeah, it was a lovely event. It was what impressed me about you was your amount of knowledge that you'd gathered. Is this off your own bat, or was it just from your dad?
It's probably just from listening to my dad.
Is it? He's a terrible man, isn't he? Terrible influencer. But it's good to see you there with your blue blockers on and I think we're the only two who wear blue blockers. Even on the Thu stuff, the other boys don't bother. I'm going to have to take them across my knee and give them a spanking, I think.
Yeah, I always tell him to put them on, but he was like, yeah, we'll do like later on. I'm like...
So what brought you to carnivory originally, and how do you feel on it, and how is it with your friends and the other young people that you associate with?
We were on holiday and it was like an all-inclusive, so I was eating like all sorts, and then I saw my dad eating like just the meat, and I was like, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing that? And he was like, it's just a diet. And I was like, oh, if I do that, we'll have to eat broccoli, because my mum forced me to eat broccoli at the time, and I hated it. And he said no, so I was like, I'm doing it. And he was like, but then you can't eat bread. I was like, I don't care, I'm not eating broccoli. So I started it, and then I felt great, so I just carried on. And then that's it, really.
Cool. And you've got into a load of the other stuff, like cold thermogenesis and things. I mean, we went up this little mountain in the lakes back in the summer, end of the summer, and you were straight in there while Dr. Jeremy Ayres disgraced himself and started shouting as soon as he got up to his knees. So you've been doing quite a bit of this, cold thermogenesis and stuff, yeah?
Yeah, it's quite hard because it's so dark here, but in the summer, or like definitely spring, I try to go in the lake and stuff. It's just, I like it.
Yeah, that's a lovely little swimming hole you've got there.
Yeah.
It's cool. So, what stopped you going vegan with all this business with Greta Thunberg and stuff, and why? How did you see through this palaver?
I guess that my dad just sort of brainwashed me.
Did he?
Yeah, I think him talking about meat and light and all of that so much just sort of like stuck with me rather than vegan.
But it seems to work, because I mean, we at that age we tend to get brainwashed by things that we see in the media and stuff. And rebel against our parents. I mean, when I was your age, I just wanted to do everything opposite to what my parents were doing. What was it that made you decide that your dad was actually pretty sane and pretty cool?
I guess it's the fact that I actually, like, I tried it and then I felt like fine, And then I saw like my friends were always like complaining about stuff, and like they always had some sort of pain somewhere, and they had headaches, all of that, and I just didn't get any of that. And that was like after I started eating this way. And I thought maybe it's this, and they all thought it was like strange that I just ate meat, because in my packed lunch I'd take like tuna and like sausages, and they'd all be like, "What is that?" But they'd be sat there like eating pasta and then complaining about headaches. So I just don't think they make the connection, whereas I did.
Wow, that's cool, because I see it in my daughter's school, where many of them at her age, sort of 11, and even at Peter's age, my son who's 4, and some of them are going through terrible metabolic issues. So that's pretty common, is it, nowadays? Because in my day there wasn't that kind of thing, but you're seeing that far more now, which speaks really to what your dad talks about, of how we can't take this kind of rubbishy food anymore. With the influx of Wi-Fi and artificial light and all the other problems, people are getting sick quicker on this. So you're seeing that a lot among the people you're going to school or college with or whatever, yeah?
Yeah, I see a lot of people complain, and a lot of people, this might be because we don't live in a like sunny place or a very like place with like a lot of light, but a lot of people with acne, but which is also connected to the diet, and they all ask me like, how do you keep your skin so clear? And I don't know what to say. I'm like, I just do.
Yeah, you just say it's not oil of Ulay. Good skin is a reflection of good health inside. It's nothing to do with your skin, right? Lúthien, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for coming on, and we can't wait to see you there in May at the next Carnivore retreat.
Okay, thank you.